All right, well, I'm off on a new adventure. I'm over at Gasparilla Marina in Gasparilla, Florida. The techs just got off the boat doing service on the engines. They closed at 6 o'clock. We got over there at 6 o'clock for 600 gallons worth of fuel, and they didn't want to stay. I get it, but you know, for $100 tip, I'm pretty sure I would stay too. But so now we've got to wait until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning when they decide to open up. And frankly, I may not even wait for them to open up because we have to go all the way down a marathon tomorrow, which at 10 knots is about 15 hours. So maybe even more if we're not going to make 10 knots. And so if we leave at, 9 o'clock, 9:30, almost 10 o'clock and get out of here, we're going to be putting out of here. There's basically no water all through here. So we may not make it before nighttime, and I don't really want to be coming into an extremely narrow channel with really shallow water in the middle of the night down in Marathon. And then our GPS or our autopilot, well, I don't know. Somebody's really taped this up to say, don't use this autopilot, which is totally new to me. So now I can't use my autopilot up on the bridge. We can only use it from the lower helm. Not an ideal situation when I really want to drive from the helm of this boat. So this is a Marlow, and we're going to be taking it to Charleston, the via way of Marathon and Fort Lauderdale, and then head up to Charleston. So it should take, I don't know, it's 36 hours or so from Fort Lauderdale to Charleston, and it's 15 hours down to Marathon. So another 8 hours from Marathon to Fort Lauderdale. So new boat for the owner, not bad. We just did a ton of work to it, engine work and stuff like that. So just ran a sea trial. Hopefully everything works when we get out there. I'm just doing charts right now down below, trying to get everything dialed in, engine room, just doing all the checks. So yeah, but I have an autopilot down here, which is good. So this is where we are, and then I think I gotta fly back up to Virginia and finish another trip up there. So I'm gonna try and do some video on this one. We've got a couple people on board. I am by myself right now, but we do have a couple people on board. So we'll see what their propensity is for being videoed. If it's not great, then I won't do it. Otherwise, come along for the journey, and should be some nice clear water. So we'll see you guys out on the water, and hopefully on the next video. All right, well, we're running a little late already. We're gonna head over to the marina to get some fuel, and then we're gonna get out of here at 7:25 right now, heading down a Marathon. So we'll catch you at the fuel dock. All right, so we just made it to the fuel dock, and this generator has already shut down on water flow for the raw water side. The mechanic said it was a sensor. I was just going to disconnect the sensor. I came down, and this pump's really hot, so there's no water getting to this. So the sensor's probably working properly. They replaced all this stuff, so I'm going to take it apart and see maybe if it's just an air pocket or what the deal is. But we're fueling right now. We're going to take on about 400 gallons just to get us down to Marathon, which will give us about 600 gallons in the boat. So I'm going to take this apart, see if we can't fix it and get both engines up and running, or generators up and running. All right, so this is the line coming in from our sea chest right here. So that's the water supply. Nothing came out of here. I disconnected this one, which is the supply line. I brought it down to my feet. You can see some water came out. I reprimed it. And now the pump is cold. Where it was burning hot before, it's cold. So she's working now. Got both generators back up and running. It's not a sensor issue. When you rebuild this stuff, hey, come on, man, check it. It's not a sensor. If you just redid the pump, you got to reprime everything. But it is what it is. So back up and running. Hopefully we're done fueling, and then we get underway. All right, well, we're heading out of the channel. Every single boat here is in the middle of the channel fishing. So, straight out that way, we got our red and green. That's where Rich is heading, right? There somewhere, right, Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now. There. Yeah, thank you. We have no autopilot on the helm up here. And we have a distress call for an MMI number, and nobody knows who it is because it's not registered. So we are out, almost offshore. We're gonna pick this girl up a little bit, see what she can do. We're going 10.1, 10.4 right now. And we'll see what we're gonna get up to. Right now we're heading to Marathon around 1:30 in the morning, so we've got to definitely pick this up a bit. Quite nice now. Bells are ringing. Rich, how we doing?
It's fine. Got it smooth, the wind's laid down.
You think the wind's laid down?
A little bit, because not nearly white
Yeah, it's not white cappy.
But I've seen it fluctuate today, for sure.
Well, you know, when I was checking this morning, that's basically what they said it was going to do. So we were supposed to get some white caps and then a little bit more chop, but
It did what it was told to.
yeah.
Fixed the legal land for a while.
Yep.
Lots of stuff on the boat works. And generator keeps kicking. We're good.
Yeah. What have we been talking about for the last 2 hours?
We're trying to figure out how to get a good cadence going so we can get to a fuel stop that's actually open when we get there. And we're trying to calculate that because it's like we're going to lose a day every other day to get fuel if we can't figure out a way to stop while they're open.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to go back downstairs and do right now is figure all that out. And then Rich has got the helm.
Yeah, you can do what you got to do up here, but the sun shining on you, the glare off the shiny things, the wind hitting you, paying attention to stuff, hard to think about when you got to stop and look at that map and who's open and where you can get fuel and when you're going to go to sleep. And you got 11 hours to get there and all that. So somebody's got to go downstairs and get still and quiet and do some plotting and scheming.
Well, I don't know why I have to do that. I got ADHD.
Don't work it out.
All right.
Hit the box.
See you in a bit. All right. Well, 2 hours later, it's I don't know if you can see that or not. It's 3:03. So we've got our coffee making over there. Over there, we got coffee making, and I've been trying to figure out what we're gonna do for the rest of the trip. We've got 1,000 gallons of fuel in this boat, and I don't know what the parameters of the boat are yet. And so I'm trying to run it at different speeds to see what the fuel burn is and what my cadence can be and what the efficiency of the boat is. So right now we're running it like 15 knots and I'm burning 50 gallons an hour. I've gone up, I've gone down with it. So I get some idea of what the boat's gonna run at. Now, we're gonna head to Marathon tonight. I can't fuel tonight because we're gonna get in too late. So I was just thinking maybe I could pick it up because I think I've got enough fuel. Maybe I could pick it up and get the fuel dock for this evening, but I'll do that after the video is over with. So we're gonna fuel tomorrow morning in Marathon, and we're gonna go to Fort Lauderdale. So Marathon to Lauderdale, it's gonna take me about 8 hours, 430 gallons in fuel, and that's running at around 15 knots, I think. So now I'm in Lauderdale tomorrow afternoon. I've got to get into Lauderdale before they shut the fuel down at 4 o'clock, because I've got to fuel in Lauderdale and I'm going to pull directly back out at 4 o'clock and run an overnight. Where does that put me the next day? At what speed? So then I can pull in, grab fuel, pull back out again, and then head up the way. So my fuel stops, I think, are going to be Canaveral and Jacksonville, with a backup plan to St. Augustine if I can't make it. I've already talked to Casey up at latitude 32 marinas up there in Jacksonville. They're super nice up there. She's gonna stay open late for me, but I don't wanna push that window too much. So my backup is gonna be St. Augustine, touch and go in St. Augustine. So Lauderdale to Canaveral, 150 nautical miles. So what's my fuel burn and what's my speed rate gotta be? So I'm guessing if I leave at 6 from Lauderdale to Canaveral, it's 150 nautical miles. If I go 12 knots, that's gonna take me 12 hours, 30 minutes. I'm gonna burn 562 gallons of fuel. Definitely within my window of 1,000 gallons. That will get me into Canaveral at 6 a.m. I can fuel by 7, leave by 8. So I'll leave Canaveral by 8. I'll get to Jacksonville by 5. If I push it and do about 16 knots, burning 52 gallons an hour. So I think that I've got that. And again, if not, then my dump place will be to St. Augustine. Jacksonville to Charleston at 12 knots is 15 hours, 674. So essentially I will arrive in Charleston around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday morning. So all that to be said, I had to do a lot of thinking, calculating, like 13.5 knots. I'm burning 44 gallons an hour. That's 1,012 gallons for the trip. That's not gonna work. So I would run out of fuel if I ran that profile. So I've created a bunch of little profiles to kind of figure out what I can do, where I can be, and what envelopes I can sort of push in terms of speed or backing off to try and get me on a cadence for fueling of the boat. So I'm either going to be there first thing in the morning or the last thing in the day. The last thing you want to be is end up at like 10 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning and needing fuel. So that's why I've run through all of this and spent the last 2 hours trying to figure all this stuff out, making phone calls, seeing who's open, when they're going to be open, and if they will stay open long enough for us. So 2 hours worth of diligent work to try and figure out all the parameters of the boat, running different speeds, calculations, engine loads. I don't want to run anything more than like 80% on my engines either. Right now we're running about 71%, so that's pretty good. But I don't want to be pushing the engines up to 85, 90% load. So I've got to be very careful of that as well. So all of those considerations, I think I've got a pretty decent game plan. We'll see how it goes when we leave Marathon tomorrow, if it actually works out that way, and what time we can get into Lauderdale. It'd be great if we could get into Lauderdale a little earlier. We can fuel earlier, and then I can back off on it, and I can make sure that I make my window in Canaveral, and then I can make sure that I make my window in Jacksonville, and then it's a 12-hour steam up to Charleston, and we should be able to make that without a problem. So that's where we sit. Coffee's brewing. I'm gonna go grab a cup, and I'll see you guys on the next little clip. 7:58, fueled and off the dock. We took 667 gallons, so we know we've got like 800 gallons in the tank, so that should get us to Florida. We were really trying to press the tanks, but leaving Marathon. Marina's back there. I gotta pay attention because there's no water right there. I can see the ground. 2.7 feet of water, and we are hugging the greens to stay away from all this stuff over here. It's a little bit higher tide than it was yesterday when we were coming in, so we should be just fine. 2.8. I think I saw 0.8 yesterday getting out of here. So heading up to Fort Lauderdale. We got to get there before 4 o'clock so we can fuel. I'm going to call around to a couple other places as well and see if we can't get fuel a little bit later. Press the tanks again, and we're going to go do an overnight to Canaveral. Post up on their docks, wait for them for fuel, get out first thing, hopefully by 8 o'clock after we're done fueling there, and then head up to either Jacksonville or St. Aug, fuel there, and then we're going to do a light steam overnight to Charleston. So that's sort of the game plan for our cadence and our fuel burn. We'll see what happens once we get out of here, so we'll catch you when we're out there. Okay, just made my breakfast. Got some yogurt, some granola, blueberries, and strawberries. And yep, I used a knife in this sea condition. And I was just thinking, one of the biggest questions I get is, why don't the owners come with us most of the time? And this is the reason why. It's really not that bad out. We're only in like 3 foot seas, 5 seconds. Well, maybe a little bit less than 5 seconds. So like a 3 foot wave comes at me every 5 seconds. And as you can see, we're going up and down, and the owner was down here, and I kind of looked over and I said, go to the bridge, sit in a chair. So they were starting to get a little pecked, a little seasick, but ooh, flying fish. Can you see him? Oh, still flying, sorry. So we've just left Marathon. We are out. Zoom this out so you guys don't get seasick. We're only going 12.8 knots right now. And thank God we are in 145 feet worth of water. I like that a lot. You can see we're getting lots of spray. And yeah, so this is what it's going to be like for the next 8 hours. So this is the reason why most clients don't want to come out and do this and get rocked around, rolled around. They're not used to it. And being seasick is just not fun. So I looked up Lauderdale Marine. They're open till 9 o'clock tonight, which is awesome. I was hoping they would be. So we've got a little bit of a reprieve on that, but then that backs us up for the next round. So I've just got to be careful with that one up in Canaveral. So hopefully somebody else isn't getting seasick up there. Anyway, I'm going to have my breakfast and relax and set a new course. All right, I haven't posted a lot today, but we are looking at Miami. Everybody's downstairs seasick, so I'm up here. Of course, I was the only one drinking coffee, making sandwiches. Everybody else is just throwing up, so it's fine. I feel bad for them. The seas aren't really bad at all. We're back down to like 2-footers. Really not that bad. Beautiful day out here. I saw like a blue marlin jump out of the water earlier. That was kind of cool. Don't know what he was catching, but yeah, it's beautiful out here. Old lighthouse right there, and that's Miami. I just bumped it up a little bit because now we're like sort of in a following sea. So our arrival time into Fort Lauderdale is 4:40, which hasn't changed. I just bumped it up, going about 16.5 knots. We're gonna fuel, maybe get a coffee. It's hard to make coffee down there right now. and we're gonna pull out and we're gonna do the overnight to Canaveral. We're gonna fuel first thing tomorrow morning in Canaveral, Jacksonville, and I've said this before, but the change in the plan is we're gonna stay in Jacksonville. So we're gonna spend the night in Jacksonville, rest up, and then we've got like a 12-hour day heading up to Charleston the next day. So that's the add-on. We're only going to do one overnight. So I'm fine with that. We'll get some, I don't know, Bud Light and chicken wings in Jacksonville. And have a good night. And we're ready to go for Tuesday morning. The trip that I was supposed to take Tuesday afternoon, I was going to take a flight out late Tuesday and fly back up to Virginia to finish that other trip up to Annapolis. I didn't do any video of that one, so that you guys won't see that. But I was doing a delivery from North Carolina up to Annapolis on a boat. So I got somebody in front of me. I'm going to take care of that. Maybe I'll do some B-roll for you out here, especially after we drop the owner off. And yeah, it's nice out. I'm enjoying it. It's nice to not have the phone and internet and everything else, just be able to relax and enjoy the water. So that's what I'm doing. Everybody else is sick, unfortunately, so we'll see what happens.
All right, I don't know how this is coming out, but it looks like it's a little bit, the video looks a little bit choppy. So I did it on my GoPro. I thought it was in time lapse, so I fast forwarded it, but only like by 4 times. So it shouldn't be this choppy. So I'm hopefully when you guys are looking at it, it is not as choppy as it seems. If it is, I apologize. Please don't make comments in the comments below that this was choppy and fast. I know it is, but it's a good representation of what it looks like to get out of Fort Lauderdale on a Sunday afternoon or Monday or Tuesday. I don't know when the heck this was, but this is coming all the way out of Fort Lauderdale from Lauderdale Marine and like Pier 66. So we're coming out around the corner right now, just over to the left-hand side, and that's coming to be the open ocean.
Rollers. All right, we've successfully made it out of Fort Lauderdale right on time. It is 6 o'clock. We pulled off the dock at 5:40. So we did a really good turnaround at Lauderdale Marine, which was great. We topped off again. We're heading out. Have an ETA. It's still going down. Hopefully, I would love to see like 3 o'clock this morning up at Canaveral. We're gonna post up on their dock for a couple hours, get some sleep, we hope, and then fuel at 7 when they open, and we're gonna do a day trip up to Canaveral. No, Jacksonville. Where are we going? I don't even know where we're going.
Canaveral.
Canaveral, but then on to Jacksonville. That was a good, successful fueling on and off, and we made it out right on time.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 o'clock, we were really hoping we could leave. We were almost budgeting for 7, but 6 o'clock, boom, we're already out and gone.
Boom.
Boom. We are efficient. I got an ice cream. Christopher got an ice cream.
I put fuel in the boat.
You put fuel in the boat. Got a couple of drinks, and I got some cold brews for tomorrow. And I got to start thinking about dinner and watch schedule. So I got to talk to Rich about that, figure out what we want to do for that. Because I've been up since 7 o'clock on this. These guys have been bumming out all day, sleeping. I haven't seen, it's the first time I've seen either one of these guys today. Just sleeping.
I had to throw up to sleep. We went through some rough water.
I didn't mention anything about you.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I didn't.
Whenever I say it was 5s, maybe a 6 came through there every now and then. Dave's gonna be like, those are 2s and 3s. No, sir. No, ma'am.
They were 2s and 3s.
They were 3 seconds, but those were 5s and maybe a 6. But it was rough. But at any rate, I did finally submit. After several hours, I finally threw up. Got that out. Laid on the floor for an hour or so. Good to go. That's how I roll. Puke and rally.
See? What did I say? He's been lazy all day long. It's a darn thing.
I laid on the hardwood floor for an hour and a half.
I had to check on him. I thought he fell overboard.
There was a rug that I was on that they could solve.
That's true. Yeah, you were roughing it today.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm alive.
Yeah, and the owner's gone now, so it's just the 3 of us. Christopher's going to do his first watch tonight.
Whoa.
We're going to leave him alone by himself. I think he can get around Canaveral. I think we just keep going. Let him make this.
Sleep right there.
Yeah, right there.
Take his phone, use it as a pillow.
That'll be fine. Be fine. His first watch. It'll be fine. $1 million boat, no worries. So, autopilot. He'll just keep you going straight. So I'm going to go down below and figure out what we got going on for dinner because it's already 6 o'clock, so I'm behind schedule on that. And yeah, I'll be back up in a little bit. Well, I forgot to do my proverbial what's for dinner segment, so about halfway through it. I've got some salmon here and some asparagus, and we've got a grill up top, so I'm going to see if that works. So with the asparagus, I just trimmed up and salt, pepper, fresh garlic, rubbed it in olive oil, and put a couple little slivers of butter in it, and I just wrapped it up into a nice little package like cornball because there's not a lot of room on the grill, so I've got to conserve the grill. So I'm going to just rotate this around as it cooks to get all the sides and get it all nice and juicy and flavorful. And I'm going to cut up some more of the garlic, just salt, pepper, oil, maybe a little bit of butter. I've got some lemons over here that we're going to use for some flavoring, and that's gonna be pretty much about it. I haven't even opened the salmon yet, so I don't even know what it looks like. And then I'm gonna kind of dig through the refrigerator here and see what else we've got. I see that we've got some there's a head of romaine in here. I could do like a chopped salad with that or something like that. Bacon Caesar. All right. I don't know. There's some spinach back there. Some just bastardized sort of tomatoes. We got some blueberries and strawberries, Parmesan cheese, so maybe a little cheese on top. Ooh, oh, it's a decent bottle of wine, which we're not going to use. So not much in the way of food because we're only going to do like 1 or 2 overnights. So minimal provision, so it's going to be whatever it's going to be. Worst case scenario, we got snacks. So pretty sure we can handle this. It is 18:44, so I'm gonna try and get this on before the sun goes down. Hopefully we'll be there for 3 o'clock. So again, we're not gonna have to do the 3 to 6 shift. So I only have to worry about staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning. And frankly, at this point, I'm probably just gonna stay up till 3. There's no way I'm gonna go down for a couple hours at this point. So I'm just gonna run. We started at 6:30 this morning. So I'll run from 6:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night. So that's 12 hours plus another, I don't know what that is. It's a long time. So, but it's only one night, and then we can get some sleep in Jacksonville, I think. So, yeah. done it before, we'll do it again. So I'm gonna open this salmon and see what this looks like and show you what it looks like after we're done. All right, so I'll give you the setup for this. The grill upstairs is literally like this big. It's electric. We're gonna see what we can do with it. So the asparagus will go on. I'll get that parred up first, probably because there's just not enough room. And then I'm gonna do each individual ones of these salmon. I put some olive oil on the bottom just so it doesn't stick, and fresh chopped garlic, salt, pepper. There's a little pat of butter, and I've de-seeded the lemon. I'm gonna put the lemon on top. I'm gonna wrap them, and we're just gonna poach them. So that's what we're gonna do with all 4 of these, and hopefully the grill works. I'm also dropping 2 sugar bomb tomatoes in here, so as it cooks, those will start to break apart, and then the juices and the water from that will also help sort of keep it moist and not fry it up and poach it. So I'm gonna throw 2 tomatoes in. I'll also add a nice little touch and flair to it when I pull the stuff out. So a little added addition that I found. So we're gonna use it. Well, as expected, at 14 knots, that electric grill up top isn't doing anything. It might take care of the asparagus. The grill is just warm. So I've had to improvise. I found 2 pots here. I've got them on the grill and they're starting to get hot, which is great. Hopefully these things will cook, and hopefully the asparagus has been slow roasting up there, will at least be warm. So we'll see what happens. Might throw together a salad real quick just to get rid of some of the stuff that's in the fridge that we're probably not gonna use, like that lettuce and other stuff. So see if there's salad dressing kicking around here.